Would you like to feel the excitement of your heart rushing, your hands shaking, and your body trembling? If so, bass fishing's for you. Hi, I'm Eli Zaneski. Like many of you, I have hobbies. One of my favorite hobbies is bass fishing. I've been bass fishing for as long as I can remember. And over the years, it's a hobby that's provided me countless exciting memories, including catching my personal best bass at 21 inches. The thrill was unforgettable. I still remember it to this day. And to help you start bass fishing so you can get this amazing excitement, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about bass, from largemouth to smallmouth, from what they look like to what they eat and where they live. Because without the knowledge of what these fish look like, what they eat, and where they live, you have no clue where to go, what to use, or even what fish you caught. You can buy all the bass fishing equipment in the world, but without this critical knowledge, all that equipment is practically useless. So let's start with identifying your fish. Largemouth bass look to be green, black, and white, with a characteristic black stripe down the middle of their body. Smallmouth bass look to be a mixture of yellow and light green, with a white belly and black stripes running up and down their body. But something that really makes these fish shine is their mouth. Smallmouth bass have a mouth that opens in front of their eye. Compare that to largemouth bass, which have a mouth that opens behind their eye, giving them a larger mouth than the smallmouth bass, hence their names. These fish shine with their mouth because when they are hooked, they jump out of the water with their mouth wide open. It is a beautiful thing to see. These fish have different mouth sizes because of the food they like to eat. So let's talk about their food. Both bass like the same food, they just prefer different food sizes. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. In 1961, an article released by the Transactions of the American Fishery Society says that the food preferred by largemouth bass are shiners, sunfish, white crappies, bullheads, and bullfrogs. Crayfish are also food of choice, although less common. And for smallmouth bass, there's an article from 2011 by the Journal of Freshwater Ecology that says that smallmouth bass love crayfish as they're the most frequent diet item chosen in the study. I must also know from experience that both of these fish love worms and insects. Like I said, the main difference between these fish is they just prefer different food sizes. Largemouths prefer thin and tall, hence larger mouth. Smallmouths prefer thin and lengthy, hence smaller mouth. Knowing what these fish eat helps you know what lures or bait to use. Lures and bait are what you use to attract the fish to bite your hook. Lures are fake, bait is living. Both catch bass, but without knowing what the fish eat, you will have no idea what to use to attract bass, and you will not catch anything. So now that you know what these fish eat, let's talk about where they live. We can start with a 2003 article from the Transactions of American Fishery Society. It says that largemouth bass like vegetation, and smallmouth bass love where it's rocky. And because both fish live at what is mostly the bottoms of lakes, rivers, and streams, they also prefer the water temperature that can be found there. In a 2012 article released by the Journal of Great Lakes Research, it says that smallmouth bass prefer the temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and largemouth bass prefer 26 degrees Celsius. These fish live in these areas because it's where they're the most comfortable, and it's where they can use their stripes and patterns to both hide from predators and hunt to the best they possibly can. I really hope you found these fish interesting, and I hope that my breakdown of what these fish look like, where they eat, and where they live helped you gain some of the most critical information you need to know about bass. So the next time you're near water, use what you've learned about largemouth and smallmouth bass and see if you can catch a bass of a lifetime. And maybe I'll see you there.